Yep. Oh, wow. I hope that makes the cut. That was great.
Blessed by the Godfather.
So my best to the family. EA's FIFA franchise is the most popular sports video game on the planet.
Let's go! Thank God!
With over 150 million copies sold worldwide, the game has a profound cultural impact as well. With athletes from all sports, entertainers, and casual fans, FIFA the video game, for some, is the only soccer people know. We've come here to Boston in PAX East for the first ever eMLS Cup. And with 19 of the best FIFA players in North America, that'll get whittled down to one who has the opportunity to lift the first trophy and advance to the global stage where they'll compete as a part of the FIFA E-World Cup. With the launch of the eMLS League, some, myself included, have raised an eyebrow at what e-athletes are and the combining of e and sports at all.
Well, what is this?
To get a better sense of what e-athletes are all about, I went to the home of New England Revolution's first signing, John Oliveira, to see his prep for eMLS Cup.
Hey. Hey, what's going on, man?
How you doing?
Good, good. Welcome to the nerd kingdom, the nerd dungeon right here.
Well, let's get to it, man. I don't want to interrupt your training here. No, it's game day.
Game day, it's mostly about just getting in that mindset of, all right, it's time. I got to execute now. It took me like 3 weeks to really settle down with the squad I have. You always want to see that you're doing something to put your opponent under pressure.
Hey.
You like that one? Had to do them on the wing right there.
So now that you are a professional athlete, do you find that your girlfriend, is she cool with you spending more time playing? Her family more supportive of this?
Last year I went to Miami, had the pleasure of going to Vancouver and Los Angeles, all because of FIFA. And at first they were like, why are you playing so much? Why are you not going out as much on the weekends and stuff? And I'm like, I'm playing FIFA, I'm pretty good, and just wait and see. All right, call it out, Kelyn. Where do you want it?
Oh man, I think lower left.
Lower left?
Yeah, across his body.
Nice.
This is your Twitter right here, right?
Yeah.
So I see Mike LaBelle up there with his tweets. It says, eMLS Cup equals today. May the FIFA gods be with you.
Mike's on to something there. The FIFA gods have to be with you.
What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike, and today we have the announcement. If you haven't seen it on social media yet, I've joined
Mike LaBelle is a star. He's a character. I've seen him all over the place, from YouTube to Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. And he interacts a lot with current and former MLS players, but also dips into the YouTube space, growing his audience and having a huge following. Actually talk, we're doing Instagram right now. Dude, he's tagging me, how many followers in the get now? He's trying to kill me right now. I feel like you play the way I feel when I play, or everyone does, but you let it out.
Oh, let's go! Come on! What's up? Yeah, if you're at home, I look like what people at home are doing.
Yes.
That aren't on camera, but in front of a bunch of cameras. I didn't think I'd be playing FIFA at 28 years old. Then we had YouTube and everything kind of blew up with social media. I'm watching YouTube a little bit and I was like, I think there's room for a niche here in terms of creating content that helps people get better at the game, but in an entertaining way. That got me started and things started taking off. And when I graduated, I was like, I like what's going on with social media as opposed to taking a salary. Now people aspire to be a content creator. Where when I started creating content, it was only a few years ago, I don't think that was a goal for many people. It was a hobby.
Talk about my channel. So YouTube is something that's kind of new for me, and I'm excited about it.
And now everybody that's playing at a competitive level wants to showcase their ability because they are better than the majority of the world at something. It just so happens to be FIFA or another video game. It's turned into so much more. And it's just, we're right on the brink of everything kind of becoming what it should be. Gaming's an industry that no matter what happens, it grows.
Year over year, it's a linear up. It doesn't swing down.
Jacob Wolf is a young reporter for ESPN that you can tell is really a part of this community and now stepping outside in the media realm, giving insight into a world that I just knew nothing about.
This industry is going to be a billion-dollar industry by 2020, or that's the prediction. There's 355 million people who watched esports in 2017. Like, there's lots of numbers behind it, but truly, like, it is growing consistently. It's the next wave of what's going to happen in traditional sports, and I guess every sports league wants to be involved in at some level.
Why though? Why is it the future of sports?
Because it's young, and it's only getting younger. You know, video games are becoming a very intimate and important part of culture. I think more influencers will get involved, and I think generally, like, as generations get older and those people become adults, it will be a big part of their lives. This is internet culture transformed into real life, right? These people many of them come together on the internet. I've met plenty of people on the internet who I've gotten to connect with either for the first time at this event or got to see again and have seen at previous events.
People want to see soccer content in real life, and they want to see the gaming side of content, and sometimes there's a mix between both. And something I've noticed a lot with the FIFA world in recent content is a lot more collabs with real life soccer players.
One name that stands out to me in the YouTube, gaming, and soccer space, Jimmy Conrad.
Yes.
Played in a World Cup, but is now a full-time YouTuber.
And I'm not just saying this because I'm on camera, but I absolutely love Jimmy. I expect to see him here. I'm sure that he's at PAX somewhere.
He'll be somewhere when you least expect him. Never afraid to chart his own path, he's become a YouTuber. Working with #United, these guys are filling up stadiums like Wembley in England, where people are taking the digital world and FIFA and putting it into real life and getting huge followings.
For better or for worse, I'm the Ryan Seacrest for EA's global events, so I get to see this on the global scale as well.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah. I believe that it's really important that eMLS exists. It's a gateway to a massive amounts of growth for the sport in this country. You get MLS attention that they wouldn't get otherwise from a community that's quite large online, very passionate community. Ultimately though, I think the power of YouTube and social media is the democratization of having a voice and having a platform.
Dude, this is a good turnout.
Yeah, it's solid, right?
Jeez.
Yeah, I did one tweet and then, oi, oi, oi.
Just like I taught him.
Let's go!
It does give you the opportunity to do something you can't do in real life. I think that's a cool thing for a lot of people. Part of what makes video games cool in general is that you get to experience things you can't otherwise.
Soccer ends for everybody at some point. I got to play in MLS for 8 years, but that came to an end, similarly through injuries. Alan from FC Dallas is a homegrown player, and I mean that literally. He grew up playing in the FC Dallas Academy, but faced injuries and now has found his way into a second career with the FC Dallas, now as their professional esports athlete. Ready? Oh, you want to do it? You rock it. That's how you know these guys are content creators. They're like, oh yeah.
And now we're back, about to play 3 more opponents, and that's it of conference play. I'm so excited.
My history goes all the way back when I used to play for the system, the FC Dallas youth system. And the reason why I stopped playing soccer was because I had 3 devastating knee injuries and 3 ACL injuries to be exact. It was a devastating moment in my life, but then I resorted into playing FIFA, making YouTube videos, playing FIFA competitively, and now I'm here and I really do enjoy it, and it's something special being able to represent FC Dallas.
When I was in high school, unfortunately, like halfway through the season, I broke my ankle, and that sidelined me for the rest of the season. But throughout that time, I really got onto FIFA and I started playing a lot.
So like if they are unable to play actual soccer, they can resort to playing soccer virtually and they can feel like they're part of the game.
It makes you feel important, right? It makes you feel wanted by the club. You know, I always pictured this, but in a slightly different way. So I really got what I wanted in an unexpected way.
Well, shoot, I don't want to see you on the sticks, man.
Maybe one day, you can work
my way up. Yeah, I'm gonna start with the Revs players. I'm gonna go Juan and Kelyn Rowe first.
I heard Juan's not that good, so start off with him, and I think it'll be good.
All right, I won't tell him you said that. So. We're coming for you, Juan. Yeah.
He earned this spot to represent our team. I never played him. He'll probably beat me though. I mean, I used to play more than I play now, but I still hold my own. The braids were a little loose, and Calen looks like Calen because it's easy to look like Calen. Very, very plain.
You just gotta put a good-looking white dude out there.
Normal.
You know.
You do see players across MLS locker rooms playing the game.
Preseason especially, these guys are playing FIFA nonstop. I know because I'm next door and I'm hearing it and I'm like, I gotta go join this. You got guys in one room playing for hours straight in between changes.
And it's definitely gotten excessive. Like a lot of people
heated.
play
Heated too.
Rooms that are like loud.
All of a sudden,
security,
you know a goal happens. You know a goal
knocking.
happens because you just hear banging on the walls. You hear guys jumping up and down. You hear a few words that I cannot repeat on camera.
Drake was streaming playing Fortnite. And then I saw on a show Atlanta with Donald Glover, they had Atlanta United, they're playing video games in the background.
Like there's so many players that don't even play soccer that like playing FIFA. Jaylen Brown, he plays for the Celtics. He loves FIFA.
Julian Edelman plays all the time.
Yeah.
I've walked around and like have multiple other people in the street be like, yo, man, you play for the Reds? Like, yeah, I scored 2 on FIFA. And I'm like, oh. Hey, I'm gonna try and score in real life, but like, thank you for scoring. Keep scoring with me in FIFA. Like, get my numbers up. I appreciate that.
Even my friends, they always ask me about all these players they would never know anything about if it wasn't for FIFA. But they know all their stats.
It's true, man. I went and coached kids when I was in Houston, and I remember them being like, oh, that's cool, you play in Dynamo. But like, they were never really that interested, and then there was invariably one moment where they'd be like, wait, are you in FIFA? You must be pretty good. And I'd be like, I just told you I played in MLS.
I was a pro player.
Yeah.
I played professionally.
But it didn't matter as much as FIFA to them.
So many 10-year-olds will play FIFA and see the eMLS and now want to be a Major League Soccer player or go to games and be like, yes, this is for me, and maybe be more invested into the sport. So you can win them over in a variety of different ways, and one of them could be eMLS players that you like, plain and simple.
You understand this community better than most. What are some of those values that are important to keep in mind as you enter into the gaming world in general?
I think you approach it as a human being, and I think that you approach it in a way that, like, I respect what you're doing. These guys have been thought of as second rates. Oh, well, you're just playing a video game. These guys are dedicated. They put so much time into their craft, and I believe they deserve to be treated with the respect that any other athlete is out there doing the same thing, or anybody in any walk of life.
Dr. T.L. Taylor is one of the leading thinkers and researchers in the esports space. She's devoted her life to this, studying esports from a sociological perspective.
In my previous project on multiplayer games, I had encountered a kind of player that we used to call a power gamer, and they were people who were super focused, would often play even when it was painful, boring, failure. And for me, I was like, that is not how I play games. Who are these people? I think most of us, maybe we try a few times and then we go, okay, I'm done. Because I do think they tell us something about how play can often be really hard work, and it can be pleasurable even when they're suffering, which I think actually athletes get. Esports players are passionate competitors. That disposition, that's very kindred to what you find in sports. So I think that can be a uniting factor. I think esports athletes will often play a lot of games in one session. Traveling globally, you're coming off a jet lag and you're playing. So it's not unusual to see top competitors just come off the stage and be just wiped out, absolutely.
It's got to be a big weight off to advance. How are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling really tired. It's been a really tough game against a tough opponent.
People love to share their fandom with others, and sports has long known that, and games have long known that. And I think for me, one of the interesting open questions is if you can kind of get those two cultures to be tapping into that at the same time.
I gotta start the escalators.
Sorry.
Okay, all right, we're getting going. Bring them through. Okay, here we go.
What's up, everybody? I'm Steven Keel, former MLS player and host of Ultimate Keel.
This event is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Kid Mamito trying to do everything not to have that happen. Ronaldo, yet he
There
finishes
it is. Kid Mamito, 2 goals in front again. Probably not enough for Liez to score 2 goals. Kid Mamito.
And that's
the
it.
final whistle. Your eMLS Cup champion, Kid Mamito.
Will Kid Mamito go down in history next to Ching, De Rosario, Holden, Barrett, Onstad, Robinson?
He's got to. He's got to go down there. He's almost got to go down there with Agus and Pope as the first. He won the first eMLS.
I got to be honest, man. Before I came here, I was a little bit skeptical. Like e-athlete, that term kind of was a little off-putting to me. When you come here and you see these guys actually working, you see the skill, you see the understanding of the game, and more than anything, the love for it. The same way that you and I have a passion for it.
Well, I think it's probably similar to you and I when we were playing growing up. We played soccer just for the fun of it, and then you start to realize you have a real talent and potential to turn it into a profession. And I think through eMLS and MLS starting this league, it's given a lot of these guys a platform to take their talents, to a professional level, which is cool. So my thing to them would just be like, go for it.
After meeting players, professors, and people I thought existed generally outside my traditional soccer orbit, esports and MLS actually make a lot of sense. From the team kits, face paint, and cosplay that you see on the floor of the convention center at PAX East, it's not that different than a lot of the characters you'll find at MLS stadiums across North America. Esports and MLS have a unique set of rituals, a sense of self, and frankly, a self-awareness that kind of doesn't really care what other people think. For all you skeptics that have yet to realize that the nerds are now the mainstream and anyone outside is just missing the point, eMLS and surely esports isn't going anywhere but up. And if you're like me and you finally give it a chance, you might find it a little more familiar than you'd expect, and a lot more fun.